So I have known Parul, Priyanka, Palak for all these years. I have loved their work. The principles and the ethics and the professionalism that they bring about has deeply resonated always with me. So we have been discussing for quite some time that we must get together and collaborate on something which is probably of importance to all of us.
The topics that actually resonated with all of us was perimenopause because we are going through that stage.
And perimenopause is not optional. We all are going through it and we all have to go through it. So, and it's not a disorder. It can be managed. That's why we've all come together with our individual expertise.
And as professionals, we understand this space. So we wanted to share all these aspects, whether it is emotional, whether it is physical, mental, or nutrition with other women out there.
Why am I not like myself? Let's talk about the emotional landscape of perimenopause. Hi, I'm Dr. Bhavna Gautam. I'm a functional medicine consultant working in the space of metabolic and mental health. I hear a common statement from a lot of women in their 30s and 40s that I'm not feeling like myself. Sentences like, I don't know why I am so overwhelmed all the time. I don't know where this anxiety is coming from. The things I was able to do earlier, suddenly I'm struggling with all of them. And another most common one being, I don't know where this rage is coming from. What most women don't realize that these are not just random emotions. These actually have a biological context. This is not weakness. This is not a broken system. It is just your metabolism, which is going through a transition. And this is what we call as the perimenopause transition. As women, most of us grow up hearing about menopause. So what is perimenopause? It is the years which lead up to your menopause, and this period could last anywhere from about 8 to 10 years. So for some of us, this perimenopause phase could begin as early as in our 30s, while for the rest of us, it could be later into our 40s. What really happens during perimenopause is that your two primary hormones, estrogen and progesterone, are constantly fluctuating. Some days they are high, some moments they are low. And this does not just cause a change in your period cycle, it is accompanied by a whole cascade of change in your metabolic system. These fluctuations are not restricted to your reproductive system, but they have an emotional context too. They impact your sleep, they impact your ability to manage stress, they impact your motivation, your focus, they also impact the way you start relating to other people. So this common complaint of what is wrong with me is nothing but all of these cascading changes. This is only a recalibration of your system, not your system breaking down. Estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. It has a huge impact on your brain health. Estrogen impacts the other neurotransmitters that are required for the functioning of your brain health. For example, serotonin, which is required for feeling happy and you're regulating your emotions, or dopamine, which is required for your motivation and your focus, and GABA, which is required to feel calm and anxiety free. So when estrogen fluctuates, all of these brain health neurotransmitters also start fluctuating. And that is where we start experiencing these emotional and nervous health issues of anxiety, brain fog, nervousness, and poor sleep. So these emotional experiences are not your personal failure. They are just a very complex conversation now, which is happening between your hormones and your brain health. Your hormones are one part of your perimenopause story. You must remember that perimenopause also arrives at a very complex stage for most women. A lot of us are experiencing our children growing up. We are experiencing aging ourselves. We are also witnessing the aging of our parents. Our careers are probably getting more demanding or they are going through a transition. All of this makes the entire hormonal experience a little more complex. And let's not forget the third most important piece, the invisible load that most women carry all the time. You know, the load of planning, organizing, thinking in advance, getting everything straightened out for the rest of the family, ensuring everything is working the way it has to be. We could do it when we were younger and we showed a lot of resilience at that time. But as we age, with the hormonal fluctuations coming in, the stress response becomes a little weaker, our resilience becomes a little weaker, our sleep gets challenging, And all of these now combine together in the perimenopause age group to create a very complex situation for all of us. So when women ask, why am I not able to manage it today? I could do it earlier. The answer is very simple. Your body just needs a very different kind of support right now. So the question is, what is it that I can do for my emotional well-being during this phase? The most important thing is to reframe the question that you are asking yourself. You're not asking about controlling emotions. You're actually talking about regulating your nervous system. And here are a couple of simple things that I would recommend any perimenopausal woman to try with. The first one is take notice of your breath, because it is in controlling your breath that you're able to regulate your nervous system. This particular aspect will be dealt with a lot more in details in the next segment by my partner and expert, Parul Chaturvedi. The second aspect is creating little pause rituals. Women are just so programmed to continue rushing through the day, getting everything sorted, looking after everybody's needs, that we always invariably reach a point of absolute exhaustion or breakdown. This will not work in your perimenopause state. Here you have to design specific small pause moments happening throughout the day where your body can calm down and reset itself. And number 3 is reframing the questions that you ask yourself, moving from self-criticism to self-acceptance. Instead of saying, what is wrong with me? Actually asking, what is it that my body is asking for? And what is it that I can ask for to support myself better? And what does this support look like? It can look like you visiting a therapist. It can look like you getting your health checkups done, finding out what clinical diagnosis or what clinical support can come into the picture. It's about you making those lifestyle changes that could really help you gain some balance, or simply just meeting other women and talking to them about it. Support in perimenopause needs to be talked about. It needs to be normalized and not stigmatized. Also remember, perimenopause support can look different for different women. For some, it could be support for their mood management. For some, it could be support for their nutrition management. But for all of us, it is definitely a way to look inwards with a lot more self-compassion and acceptance for each other. Please remember, the more we talk about perimenopause, the more we create an environment that supports women rather than challenging them constantly.
Many women think hot flashes, anxiety, sleep problems in midlife are something that we have to push through. But what if we understand our nervous system and understand simple mind-body tools of yoga and breath and how it could change how we experience this phase? Hello, I'm Parul Chaturvedi, yoga and mindfulness educator with over 10 years of experience focusing on children and family holistic well-being. Today, let's talk about yoga, hormones, and nervous system regulation during perimenopause phase. Over the years of working with women and through my own personal journey, I've realized how important it is to take care of your own self before taking care of children or the others in the environment. Today, let's specifically talk about the phases of perimenopause. During this time, women go through major transition and how it affects our physical, emotional, and nervous system balance, and how simple tools of yoga and mindfulness can be very supportive during this phase. So instead of thinking yoga as a practice that only focuses on physical well-being, let's also begin to consider yoga as a practice that can be very supportive of our nervous system regulation during this phase. During midlife, many women share with me symptoms of hot flashes, anxiety, sleep disturbances, and emotional reactivity. One of the reasons for all these symptoms is hormonal changes, especially estrogen fluctuation, which can make the body more sensitive to small changes and create dysregulation in our nervous system. This can activate our fight or flight response, which may increase anxiety, heart palpitation, and affect our sleep. Mindful poses with gentle and grounding yoga, restorative poses, and slow breathing can help activate our parasympathetic nervous system, body's rest and recovery mode, allowing the body to calm down and regulate more effectively. That's why I would like to briefly share about how yoga and mindfulness. So let's try a short practice that focuses on slow breathing, longer exhales, grounding, and restorative poses that works very well for me. Let's connect to our breath. So put your hand on your heart and just slow down your breath. Breathe in from your nose and breathe out from your nose. Continue this for 3 to 5 breaths. And gradually take slightly longer exhalation. Keep taking slow and easy breaths into your body, a longer exhalation from your nose. Start to feel how the slow breaths making you feel now. Make sure this is a relaxing experience for you. Next, you can do a grounding pose, child's pose. Come down to the mat on your knees and take your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your arms forward and rest the forehead on the mat or on your hands. Allow the belly to soften and the breath to become slow and steady. This posture gently signals safety to the nervous system. Again, stay here for next 3 to 5 breaths. Make any necessary changes to make yourself more comfortable here. And make sure you breathe in. Now take your hands in and come in sitting position. Now stretch your legs forward and take your arms up by the side of your ears. Breathe in, lengthen your spine, and breathe out, go forward with your hands as much as you can. Feel free to bend your legs if you need to. And now just slowly ease into this posture, relaxing your breath. Stay here for another 3 to 5 breaths. Let your head, neck, and shoulder be relaxed and knees be slightly softer. This posture is great for quietening your mind and relaxing your whole body. Take slow breaths. Finally, lie down on the mat with your back on the ground or on the mat and bring the legs up. Allow the arms to rest beside you and ease into this pose, relaxing your breath. This simple restorative pose helps calm the nervous system and can be especially helpful before sleep. If you're comfortable, you can also close your eyes for a few breaths. And you can also do this pose by taking your legs up the wall. Just allow your arms to rest beside you. And then just relax your whole body. And again, soften your eyes or close your eyes for a few breaths. And relax. Stay here for another 3 to 5 breaths.
Practices like this may look simple, but they help the body to move from stress response into a state of regulation.
Why certain foods don't work for you anymore during perimenopause? Hi, this is Palak Bala Ahuja, your functional nutritionist. There are a lot of common concerns women between 30 and 40 who come to me. Unexplained weight, stubborn belly fat, dry skin, weakening bones, insomnia, and poor sleep. What is happening inside the body? During the hormone fluctuation, what exactly are we facing? Thyroid function starts fluctuating, insulin starts dropping, cortisol level starts going up. What does this lead to? Easier fat storage, harder blood sugar regulation, development of low-grade inflammation. Why your old diet suddenly stops working for you? There's a hormonal shift which slows the metabolism, changes in energy expenditure, increase in insulin resistance, and high cortisol levels.
Stress, cortisol, and belly fat have a connection. Chronic stress raises cortisol. Elevated cortisol promotes visceral fat storage. Fat accumulates particularly around the abdomen. This fat increases the metabolic and hormonal issue in your body. The key nutrients which every perimenopause woman needs are fat. There's a big myth around the fat. Eating fat will make you fat. The reality is healthy fats are anti-inflammatory. Healthy fats help you maintain your hormone, support estrogen and progesterone pathway, reduce hormonal fluctuation, and calm down the inflammation. This can help you reduce your mood swings, fatigue, and inflammation. Some examples are nuts, extra virgin olive oil, avocado. Second important nutrient is protein. A very big myth regarding protein is it's only made for the bodybuilders. Protein needs increase during perimenopause. Protein is extremely important, stabilizes the blood sugar, prevents muscle loss, reduces inflammation, and helps in weight loss. Ideal protein is eggs, fish, chicken, nuts, lentils, and tofu. The next nutrient we come to is fiber. There's a myth behind fiber that it's only meant for constipation. The fact is, it plays a major role in hormone regulation and metabolic health. It improves gut microbiome, supports estrogen balance, reduces cholesterol, and supports weight management. The ideal fiber is leafy vegetables, fibrous foods like apple and papaya. And my 3 important supplements for every perimenopause woman are vitamin D, omega-3, and magnesium. In perimenopause, shift your focus from weight loss to lifestyle management.
Low energy, disturbed sleep cycles, weight gain, fat abdomen. Sounds familiar, right? What if I told you there's a powerful tool that could address most of these? Hi, I'm Priyanka Chaturvedi, founder of a fitness brand WYZ Sports Science and also a strength and conditioning coach, helping women use strength training as a tool for long-term health and performance. Many women in their 30s and 40s start noticing that they haven't changed their workout, they haven't changed their diet, yet the sleep cycle is getting disturbed. They feel especially fat around the abdomen. And I think by now, most of us know that these are hormonal changes. But I guess what we do not know is what role strength training can play in this phase. Strength training doesn't directly fix hormones, but what it does is it can change the body's environment, which can help us deal with these hormonal shifts better, especially in this phase, which is called menopause and perimenopause, where the estrogen level starts dipping. Now, estrogen plays a very important part in our body. It helps with muscle repair and recovery. It helps us maintain the muscle mass. It also helps in the bone density. So when estrogen drops, 2 things happen. First is your muscle loss starts accelerating. In fact, the research says in adult body, around 3 to 8% muscle mass you start losing. And it further accelerates for women in the menopause phase. Second, the body starts to store more fat around the abdomen. And we tend to feel that our metabolism has slowed down. That's where strength training becomes extremely important. It's not just about looking toned. I think strength training is like a hormonal insurance policy for us. And this is one policy that will give you returns immediately. Strength training builds muscles. It supports bone density. It supports mood. It supports energy level. And it also regulates your sleep. As a woman, either we do not know how to prioritize our health, or even if we know that we have to do strength training, we do not know where to start from, or we think we will injure ourselves. And the worst is we think we'll end up bulking ourselves. Trust me, it takes a lot to bulk up. Ask the men or other women who are trying to do this. It is not easy. The good news is you do not need extreme workouts. If you are new to strength training, you could do just 2 45-minute sessions at your home, something as simple as squats, push-ups, doing pulling movements just 2 to 3 times in a week can significantly impact how our body ages. While doing this full body training at home, you could start challenging your body week on week. For example, start adding more repetitions or start adding isometric holds. Then start adding weights to your routine. And one myth that we all should break for once and all is that lifting weights will not make us bulky. Any strength training plan done under guided supervision will help us be more independent as we age and will also add longevity. So if I were to conclude, perimenopause is not something that we should fear about. It is just a phase where your body is recalibrated. And the women who focus on strength, sleep, and good nutrition often move through this phase feeling stronger and more capable than earlier.
Your take on sleep.
Hands down best tool on wake up.
Your take on rage.
Own your rate, but just learn how to manage.
Your take on brain fog.
I don't remember. I think I'm getting one.
Your take on self-care.
कृपया दूसरों का ऑक्सीजन मास्क लगाने से पहले अपना ऑक्सीजन मास्क पहनें.
What do you wish women knew earlier?
That we can't stop hormonal changes, but we can build the body that supports it. That your own mind and body have the power to heal itself.
That your emotions and your physiology are not separate from each other. They are the same thing.
That starving yourself will not make you lose weight.
One non-negotiable habit in your 30s and 40s.
Drinking enough water is one of the best stress relieving technique.
The 20-minute afternoon nap will be the key to maintaining your energy throughout the day.
Pause, breathe, and move.
To decide what you do in your 20s and 30s, decide how your 40s and 50s will be. So non-negotiable habits, strength training.
And while we had a blast getting together and recording this, if this is something that worked for you, if you could take something important from here, please do that. Please share it with all your women friends out there, your families, and do follow us for more such content.